Welcome to day one of our 30-day honeymoon in Europe. We left Sydney International Airport to Rome with transits in Singapore and London, making a total of 32 hours in travel. Our first photo of the trip had to be the iconic Sydney International Airport departures. We also saw the iconic Sydney conveyor belt in Macca's have a complete stuff-up. We then boarded our first flight, Sydney to Singapore, for 8.5 hours. Jack did some stretches to warm up, and we were super lucky to get the whole road to ourselves because this plane was pretty empty. Living in Australia means long flights to the Northern Hemisphere, so any flight under 7 hours is normal to us, but this travel trip was a big one. A huge travel tip is to get an airplane phone stand that connects to the seat so that when you want to doze off, you can still watch your shows and not have to hold your phone up. The food on our Qantas flight was actually pretty good, but definitely bring your own entertainment because the screen was very old. We then made it to Singapore, our first transit for 2 hours. This is probably one of the best airports in the world. We then went on to Singapore to London, where the food was also really good. We actually boarded back to the same flight. This transit was just a refueling stop. We then had our second flight, 14 hours from Singapore to London. I used this time to buy some Hourglass products before getting to our 3-hour flight from London to Rome. Once we got our baggage, it was pretty difficult to find an Uber from Rome International Airport to the main city, but luckily we found one in the end. It costs you about 55 euros on average. We went to our com, dropped our bags off, and started exploring, with the first stop being the Colosseum. Despite 36 hours of travel, it was about 1:30 p.m. when we landed in Rome, so how could we resist exploring? We found that outside the Colosseum was a water filling station that had both drinking water and sparkling water, the perfect place to refuel before going to a restaurant that charges you for water. We then had our first meal in Rome, some pasta carbonara. In order to avoid pickpockets, we chose to sit inside instead of the aesthetic outside. Ended the day with a scenic walk outside. Join us for day 2 tomorrow.